Welcome, everyone. And it's a great excitement to have everyone gather to see what this thing is all about. So this is an official announcement. As we formally announce to the world, UMUSIC Broadwater development in Biloxi in coastal Mississippi. By the end of this event, I'm confident that everyone will feel how significant this really is. Here at this site, at this point in time, I've witnessed it grow from an idea to what will be a one-of-a-kind destination. How do I feel? You know me, enthusiastic and excited, and they're understatements, as we see UMUSIC Broadwater become a reality. But before we go on, let me recognize some of the people here with us today. First, the governor of the great state of Mississippi, the Honorable Tate Reeves. And the Mississippi pronunciation of Robert Lavia, okay, the founding partner and visionary of UMUSIC Hotels. Of course, I think we have all of the city council and the board of supervisors. So let me just run through. I can't pick out everyone, but of course for city council, George Lawrence, Felix Gines, Dixie Newman, Robert Deming, Paul Tisdale, Kenny Glavin, and Nathan Barrett. So welcome. Harrison County Supervisors, Beverly Martin, Connie Rocco, Rebecca Flowers, Martin Lander, and Kent Jones. Welcome. From the Mississippi Development Authority, I see Mike McGreevy and his Jim Ronsonville here. I'm not sure, but welcome, and they've been critical to this project. From coastal Mississippi, Director Milton Segarra. Mississippi Hotel and Lodging Association Director Linda Hornsby. State Representatives Kevin Felsher and Randall Patterson and Richard Bennett. State, I think Joel Carter, State Senator, okay? And from U.S. Senator Cindy Hyde-Smith, Southern District Director Murtis Frank. I forgot to do this, but anyway. Thank you to the media for being here today, and thanks to those watching in the digital world. Now, my technical, we don't have subtitles or anything, do we? So if you're trying to figure out my accent, it's a homegrown Biloxi accent. You could call it South American, but anyway, just bear with me. But just a few more of my thoughts about UMUSIC Broadwater before I invite the governor and then Robert to share their perspectives of this great opportunity. Universal Music, worth tens of billions of dollars, the largest music company in the world, announced to the world last week that they're moving into the hospitality space. UMUSIC Hotels has chosen Biloxi, Atlanta, and Orlando as their first 3 flagship properties. We're in pretty good company, and I believe that they recognized that Biloxi was the right fit and that this particular 260-acre site was the only property that has all of the characteristics needed to accomplish their vision as a world-class music destination. And that is to attract 2 million plus visitors a year, to enjoy it all from a single spot. The waters, the beaches, the fishing, the beauty of coastal Mississippi. Play on a top-notch golf course, feel the excitement of casino gaming, and experience world-class entertainment, all while bringing the community, the region, the nation, and the world together. Look, when you think about Mississippi, you think about music. And when you think about Biloxi, you think about the Broadwater. It's not a stretch to say UMUSIC Broadwater could be to the south what Atlantis is to the Bahamas. This is a huge $1.1 billion project. It's the largest tourism project ever proposed in Mississippi. How is this going to happen? Mach 4 LLC, a Mississippi Limited Liability Corporation, is co-developing the property in association with a gaming operator and UMUSIC Hotels. Selection of the gaming operator will be determined from responses to an RFP from major gaming companies. But the developers are prepared to hire its own casino management team to apply for a gaming license. In addition, this is a classic public-private partnership for major economic development, like Nissan and Toyota upstate. The MDA certified the Tourism Sales Tax Rebate Program. TIF and other city and county incentives are being evaluated. So that's enough from me. And I'd like to invite and welcome to the podium the governor, Governor Tate Reeves.
Well, thank you. Thank you, FoFo. It's always great to be in Biloxi and always great to be on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. And what a beautiful day it is to be here today. Not only the beautiful sunshine, not only the temperature, but an announcement such as this that should get all of us excited. You know, anytime you're around FoFo, you can't help but get excited, right? Because if you don't have a good attitude, he's going to run you off. But wow, what a great opportunity this is. And what I will tell you today represents is that it looks like the news about just how great it is on the Mississippi Gulf Coast and the news about just how great the Mississippi Coast way of life is getting out. I'm so proud to be here for this announcement of the UMUSIC Broadwater today. I will tell you, I grew up not too far from here, a couple hundred miles north, and I actually came to the Broadwater property many times many years ago. And so what I would tell you is that today's announcement represents a tremendous vote of confidence in the people of Mississippi by one of the world's leaders in music and entertainment. And of course, I think we can all agree that there's no better place for such a partnership in a world-class music-themed resort. Mississippi is the birthplace of America's music. The blues, the rock and roll, country are all rooted in Mississippi soul. You know, when you think about B.B. King and Elvis Presley and Jimmy Rogers, all born and reared here in the great state of Mississippi. And this resort will not just be a great tribute to Mississippi's legacy, it will be a tremendous resource for our future. 2,500 permanent jobs in Phase 1 alone, more than 1,000 construction jobs, more than $1.15 billion in capital investment. That's the kind of bold projects that we need here in our great state and on this beautiful Mississippi Gulf Coast. And it's what's going to help us as we strive to boost incomes and to boost opportunity for everyone in this region. Now, there's been a lot of people who have been a part of this effort. Strong leaders like FoFo who have a vision for the future of our coast and will not let their foot off the gas until we make Mississippi a top tourist destination. But what we all know is becoming more and more clear across the country and across the globe is that once someone visits Mississippi, once they sample our food, once they understand our hospitality, once they get to experience this beautiful weather, they fall in love with our state. I've said it over and over and over. Whether it is economic development or tourism, our biggest challenge is one and the same. And that is convincing people to come here once. Because if you ever come here once, you tend to love what you see. And you want to come back again and again and again. And so to add a facility such as this to our already great destinations a sort of friendly competitor, if you will, is simply going to convince more people to come here once. And it's going to grow our tourism market for years and years to come. At the end of the day, it's not just world-class resorts, golfing, casinos that makes people come back over and over. It's the spirit and the people of our state. That's what attracts giants like UMUSIC. That's what attracts projects such as this and giants like UMUSIC to make life-changing investments in our people. It's also what makes families return year after year. Thank you to all of you who have made Mississippi such a welcoming, fun, special place. And thank you to UMUSIC and the team here at the Broadwater Resort for what you've already done and what you will do. Welcome to the Mississippi family.
Thank you, Governor, for your leadership and your vision and for being there for us always. At this time, I'd like to ask Robert Lavia to come up and kind of add some perspective of what this thing is going to be really about. Robert?
So, good afternoon, friends. Thank you for having me in beautiful Biloxi, Mississippi. I would like to thank first Governor Tate Reeves, Mayor FoFo, Biloxi City Council, state representatives, the County Board of Supervisors, Mississippi Development Authority, and much more for supporting the vision. Before I get started talking about this exciting project, I want to first recognize what makes us feel so passionate about Mississippi and Biloxi. There must be something in the water. From the minute you step into Biloxi, you feel at home. The people immediately feel like family. That's what you guys call here Southern hospitality. That warmth, that welcoming feelings is what both our national and international guests want to discover here. We aspire that they experience that same feeling. And they too drink from the water and take back for them wherever they came from. I personally have already felt our local partners here today because I already feel like family. People ask us, why did we choose Mississippi to start this monumental flagship of UMUSIC hotels? But it comes down to one thing, the rich, powerful music that has come from the region. Mississippi, as the governor just mentioned, is known as the birthplace of America's music. After all, it's credit for producing the king of rock and roll, the father of country music, the king of the blues. These trailblazers, along with hundreds of others, have impacted and influenced the music industry like no other in modern history. Even groups like the Rolling Stones, the Beatles, Eric Clapton have all been inspired by the music of Mississippi. I would like to say there might have not been the British invasion if it wasn't for Mississippi and the talent that came from here. These talents include Muddy Waters, B.B. King, Elvis Presley, Charlie Patton, Robert Johnson, Sam Cooke, the king of soul, which have inspired these great legends today. Heck, it's even the home of the Britney Spears, Tina Turner, and Jimmy Buffett. It's fair to say you all have every genre covered. We see music as a pivotal component in the creative arts. Our intention is to create a world-class facility to bring some of the greatest talent both regionally and internationally, and act as a platform for local talent to kick off their careers. We also see it as a creative hub for people under the creative arts industries that can collaborate and co-create, building as the future and the legacy of Mississippi. We also have an incubator accelerator programs to support engineers, digital startups, and the music industry, as well as other aspiring entrepreneurs looking to create a career in the music and entertainment space. We'll be working with schools and the community for exploration and discovery of these local talents, from musicians to songwriters to engineers to video production and more. We're just not a tourist destination, but a producer of new and authentic talent and content. We will be also working with local supply chains, from the fruits and the vegetables to the chicken and the eggs, and even the furniture and the artwork can drive local job creation outside the resort itself. And at the same time, representing both the arts and the culinary soul food of what the region has to offer. This will allow our guests to properly discover the flavors and the sights and the artistic expression of the state. So don't think of us as just a world-class resort. We are committed, fully integrated into the region community so that we become a beating heart to support the amazing current and future talent here. We look into the future as we overcome these difficult times that we find ourselves in today. Just as in the past, we have transcended across the most difficult times in history from World War I to World War II and many other global crises. We believe as a global community we shall overcome. And this project becomes particularly important. It becomes a catalyst to reignite the community through the arts and the surrounding businesses in the region. And of course, we'll be prepared by using the most state-of-the-art technologies, not just for the entertaining our guests, from virtual reality to augmented reality to artificial intelligence and holograms, and much more. Wherever you look, you'll be wowed. But also, we'll be focusing on the security and using all the latest protocols for whatever the next pandemic could be. We will be prepared. And before you ask me, when do we start this exciting project, let me answer that. Our investor developer partners are committed to start in 2021 and finalize sometime in 2023. So friends, let me share a quick presentation and a visual walkthrough prepared by Brad Friedmatter, one of the best architect resort designers in the world. So I just wanted to clarify for everybody, this is only a small percentage, small percentage of what will be there. Just like the latest iPhone, we'll give you just enough to get inspired, but not everything, so we can still surprise you. Unlike anything anybody's done before in this space, we'll be leveraging the largest music company in the world with over 100 years of rich history, over 100 record labels, supported by an incredibly talented group of people who are all purpose-driven and socially conscious, not to mention the vast amounts of unique intellectual property that we can use to bring this amazing project alive. Ladies and gentlemen, this is UMUSIC Broadwater, and we're excited to be here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Robert. Thank you for bringing this team together to bring this to a reality. It's an amazing opportunity for us here on the coast and the country. We'll see, and they will come see us. We have, I'm not sure of how much time we have, but I'll handle the easy questions, and we got the governor and Robert to handle the tougher ones. So we'll open it up if there anybody has any questions, or we can go one-on-one after this. So thank you for all being here and seeing what I think is going to be transformational. Is just an understatement again. So we're here for any questions you may have. Okay, thank you so much. But yeah. 1,150. See, I tell you, it was an easy question. So, okay. 12,000. Okay, about. Well, I think I'm going to ask Robert, and of course the team here is, I know 160 miles an hour, I think, is what's been engineered, and again today with the lamination and the polymer and those kinds of things, I don't think that's going to be a tremendous concern. Kenny? Well, to repeat what Robert said, I think about 2,500 permanent jobs when it's all out, all in. And again, it can only help us as a team to bring more air service to our airport. I mean, for years we've been challenged by the number of carriers and the frequency. And today with COVID, it's even more challenging. But it can't hurt. So.
Hey, Mayor.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. You look at that as part of our history. That was one of the first as we grew, and it's certainly a big part of the experience. You look at, I mentioned Atlantis. A big part of those. Hey, you've got a multi-million-dollar boat just driving, and you'll have that same experience. So I mean, it's huge as far as being able to do the things, no matter what you are, where you want to come from, it can handle it. It will be. It will be, I hope. No, I can't answer that question. You need to ask somebody else that. But it's all been considered. It's all part of the equation. I think that screen is to be viewed from Ship Island, so you can see anything that's going on. So if you're at Ship Island with your boat, you'll be able to view it. But I think I'm not speaking for the hotel and the project, but there are some great aspects of what you can do from the outside to enjoy the entertainment that they're going to bring to the table.
What kind of road infrastructure will have to happen here to handle that traffic influx in that area?
Well, I don't know that we'll talk about specifics there, but clearly infrastructure improvements are a part of virtually every project, particularly large projects of this nature and this magnitude, and we are committed to work with the developers and work with UMUSIC to make that a reality. I don't know if y'all know that, but know this or not, but there's a mayor here in the city of Biloxi who really works me really hard on every single project. I don't know how many joint projects we have going in Biloxi right now. But the fact is, our job from the state's perspective, working with our state legislature, our members of the House and the Senate, is to provide resources such that we can invest in infrastructure so that projects such as this that help us grow our economy happen. And that's what it's all about. It's about growing our economy and giving more Mississippians more opportunities for success. You know, y'all know me well enough to know that I get really excited about opportunities for young people. And when you start talking about the number of folks, when I look at when I look at the dropout rate, for instance, in Mississippi, and this is going in more detail than most of you want to hear probably, but when I look at the kids that are dropping out of school, we looked at this 5 or 6 years ago, and what we found is the vast majority of the kids that were dropping out of high school weren't dropping out because they couldn't do the work. It wasn't the F students. They were dropping out because they were bored. And so one of the reasons that we've had such an effort to revitalize and revamp our public schools in Mississippi is because the fact is there are a lot of kids that aren't going to go get their 4-year degree. But if they had a reason to stay in school, if they were looking at opportunities from a music perspective and things such as that, they will stay. When they stay in school for that reason, they still get their high school degree. They still have significantly more opportunities in the future. It's one of the reasons I'm so proud that our dropout rate has actually been cut in half in the last 5 years in Mississippi. And that's something we ought to be excited about. The other thing I'll tell you, and I couldn't help but be reminded of this on the way down today. I remember a number of years ago, and y'all probably remember the exact date, I don't. But a number of years ago, at about the same time, there was a battle, one in Harrison County, one in Hinds County, with respect to significant bond issues to support the expansion of the convention center. I publicly opposed the one in the city of Jackson, and I publicly supported the one in Harrison County. And the reason I did is because I believed then, and it's proven to be true, that the center in Jackson was going to compete with Tunica and Philadelphia and other places around Mississippi for projects. The one on the coast, I firmly believe then, and even more so today, can compete with Atlanta and Tampa and Dallas to attract the biggest and the best shows all over the Southeast. And so when I heard about this particular project and the fact that they had chosen Atlanta and Tampa and the Mississippi Gulf Coast as where they want to make their initial investments, it led me to be reminded of that, and it should remind all of us that particularly on the Gulf Coast, we can compete with anyone anywhere in the world, whether it's a music product or whether it's a large show of some sort. We need to set our sights even higher. We need to set our sights as high as possible because we can compete, and not only can we compete, we can win. And I am absolutely convinced of that. And it's the reason that probably more, well, definitely more so than any time in my public service, I'm as optimistic about our future as I have ever been. In fact, I'm so optimistic and so excited, I almost sometimes have to bring myself down because people are going to start talking about me like FoFo or something. So I got to calm down. But I'm really excited about our future because I see us as a state stepping up and thinking bigger and better and not the way it's always been, but the way it's going to be.
Thank you, Governor. Let me add, too, their tax increment financing, there's been a lot of that around here, not at this scale, but again, to address some of those things and different incentives and rebates. And so that's all part of the equation. Our job is not totally complete, but it's certainly there. What the governor and the MDA did to kind of put this thing in reality was very inspiring to me. Since I've been mayor, you hear about these projects, but, when I heard that MDA certified this as tourism rebate, and it's a big deal. It truly is a partnership. So it inspired me, and just to say, I only had 2 cups of coffee today. We had the utility authority, Marlon. We had the utility authority meeting today, so I'm still high on that. So. All right. Any other questions? Yeah.
I'd like to ask a casino question.
Mm-hmm.
How concerned could be anybody to answer this question? How concerned would anybody be about the saturation
Well, yeah, I mean, this whole state is successful because market conditions, I believe, will dictate, you know, if it is, in fact, saturated. But, I mean, the team has studied a lot of the pros and cons, and I'm confident that things will move forward. And we've seen things happen to that nature, but people step up, and that's what we anticipate. Again, the ground conditions will dictate where we go, and here we are. We'll see.
And what would it be to make you decide to do your own casino rather than go outside of that?
Robert?
What would be the decision that would allow you to go with your own casino rather than getting an outside vendor for a casino?
Yeah, so we are the operators of the hotel and entertainment. The developers and the investors will be deciding which operator to be working with. That's not our decision. So there's a lot of aspects of this project. So I mean, you know, unfortunately everybody's focused on the gaming, but it's not the gaming. You know, 80% of this project is really around entertainment, incubation, support of the community. Like I mentioned before, incubator accelerator programs. So we think of this as a bigger ethos than just gaming. Gaming is a small component of the entire project.
That's a good response, Robert, because that is the truth. You know, it just happens to have a casino at this site, I believe, is what. Yeah. Yeah. Music has a theme throughout the resort.
Yes, 100%. Yes, we'll be using both the restaurants, F&B, the rooms, the communal spaces. Again, when we're talking about the incubator accelerator programs, we're talking about shared office space for entrepreneurs, people in that creative industry. So it's that IP as well as the shows themselves, you know, creative content. So don't think of it as just pure music. Music is the anchor, it's the language, but we'll be using all types of other entertainment from theater, the arts, fashion shows, you know, sports events and others. So it's going to be an integrated facility. I'm sure, we don't want to give up too much, but yes, I'm sure they'll figure that out. Any other questions for me or back to the mayor?
George?
I'm sorry.
Final plan for the whole development of 266 acres. A lot of that is the golf course that they're talking about north of the railroad tracks, but yeah, I think there are plans for the whole 260-acre site. Right, right. When all the phases are complete, that's as I understand it. Right.
Yeah, so the golf course will be a part of it. Again, we're not operating the golf course. It'll be a famous named brand and operator. We're focused on, again, the hospitality, entertainment, food and beverage, event space, and so forth. I believe it'll be 18 holes. 18 holes, yes.
There'll be some senior teas, George. I know. All right, thank y'all. Any other questions? Anyway, yeah.
Hard to imagine we are in the middle of a pandemic. Is that something that you think about moving forward? I mean, who knows where we'll be on the vaccine
Yeah.
kind of thing? And thinking of big venues with hundreds and hundreds of people, is that something that you guys consider to think about in the building?
Well, you know, the world has to go on, and we're hopeful that you know, by 23, you know, we're rocking and rolling, literally. So, but you know, certainly a consideration on how you even build that, you know, those things, and how do you carry on with industry and those, you know, and education. That's heavy on everyone's mind. So it's certainly a consideration. But we're hopeful. Okay. Okay, thank you, Governor. Thank you, Robert. Thank you to the team. And see you next. All right, Governor, good job.